Welcome to What Can I Paint Next? Section A, Exercise 4. We're going to explore a little bit more about the figure. What is it about this figure in the painting? This is the last section on figure in Section A. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to build a full image. We're trying to build almost like a visual paragraph of the scene that we're capturing in the painting. I've chosen a picture today, this picture, and it's of me in a costume that I've used quite a few times in different situations. But it's got that Harlequin crossing that really means a lot to me in my paintings, in the concept and the symbology of the Harlequin. So, and the fact that it's got all that in the background as well, I'm going to bring that in. So what I'm trying to do in this exercise is choose a figure. This time we're going to start adding a background. We're going to see if there's any more elements that can go into the picture. Choose those. So from your sources, you're going to maybe have more than one picture. I'm going to use more than one today. So I've got the photograph that I've already chosen. And I've also got these pictures, which are paintings that I did of little sprites. And the composition is going to be the figure of myself in the Harlequin dress looking up at one of the little sprites. And it's that whole idea of believing in things, what is real, what isn't real. So it's running along that theme within my work. So I'm going to start planning that using the good old planning sheet, telling more about the figure. Okay, first thing, figure. It's going to be a self-portrait. And what I'm also going to write here is that I'm wearing the Harlequin dress. Because that is quite an important part of the image. Description. So what adjectives can I use to describe myself in this? Colourful. There we go, that's already giving you information for one of your fundamentals. Playful. Magical. Whimsical. In this bit here now, I'm going to start writing things that aren't necessarily adjectives. I think there's going to be things that I want to write down that encompass the picture that aren't necessarily adjectives. So I'm going to put rabbit hole, because that phrase sort of sums up what I want to do here. So in that description, don't limit yourself just to, oh, is it an adjective or not? Write down words that, or phrases that actually really pinpoint what you're trying to capture. It's your own sheet, it's your own thoughts. You can really write anything you want. Actions, what am I doing? I'm looking, glancing, smiling, cheekily, tilted. That would be in descriptions, wouldn't it? See? And then what other additions are going to be in the picture? Well, I've already said I'm going to be using the sprites. I think one sprite. And I'm going to be looking up at it as it's hovering over my head. Sources. I've got a selfie picture. I took it with like a timed setting on my camera and past painting work. So I'm using work that I've previously done to inspire this particular painting. That it's an ongoing process. Materials. Acrylic on, I was going to put on canvas, but I can put that in surface because I want to write a bit more about that this time. Acrylic, all colours, plus cobalt and magenta. Because with those two colours, I can actually go from the ultramarine blue into a warmer blue, and I can go from the crimson red into a pinker red with the magenta. Surface. Canvas. I'm going to go for a larger canvas this time. I think with so much going on, this format, the 30 by 40 that I've done so far, won't be big enough. So I'm actually going to go, it's 61 by 50. Centimetres, and it will be portrait. So I'm going bigger because it's got so much more detail that I want to actually get into it. It would get lost in a smaller painting. Time estimate. I'm going to be spending quite a long time on this, I think a couple of days. So I'm talking 10 to 14 hours. I usually go off 7 hours a day, between 5 and 7 hours a day of actually working. So I reckon 2 days, 10 to 14 hours. The time estimate is actually important when you start thinking about things like pricing your work, and even before then, planning when you're going to do some work. When are you actually going to sit down and do your artwork? If you have a really good idea of how long you're going to spend on it, you can then budget your time over the next week or so to make sure you can actually do it. Fundamentals. Line. It's back to 2 again because I'm painting in colour. At this point, because all the first 4 exercises have all been very low in line, I just want to show you here. This is a line drawing. This is a biro drawing that I did at a life drawing class. If I was putting this onto a planning sheet, that line value would be a 5. My weight of line, how much, what I'm describing with the line would be really important. So that would be a 5. And I just wanted to show you that it's low in mine at the moment because I'm doing all very similar types of painting, but it really depends on the material that you're actually using, the medium that you're using to put your picture down. It could be pencil, could be charcoal, could be biro. In that case, line would be important. So just bear that one in mind when I keep putting low scores for line. Tone. Tone, I'm going to do a 4 because I'm going to use differences in tone with the background and the sprite and me to actually make these colourful objects stand out from the colourful background. It will make sense when you see it. Shape. The shape of the Harlequin diamonds is going to be important to get right. Texture 3, colour 5, composition 5. This is a colour and composition painting. Got to make sure that that sprite is in my eye line. It's all got to flow. I've got to make sure the diamonds are in the right place so that if I did the diamonds like just crossed, dead straight in the background, even though it's made of diagonals, which shows movement, it would make the whole thing static. So I've got to compose the way the elements fit together to make a story, and so that they cross. It will make sense when you see it. I can see it in my head, and that's why I do a little sketch at the bottom as well on the planning sheet. So there's the planning sheet sorted. I'll put some paints out, make a start. A lot of thought went into what I actually wanted to paint in this one. Spend a bit of time collecting your sources. Really pour through, what do you actually want to gather together? What images work well together? Don't just grab the first thing you find. Just really think about it. Spend time doing it, and it'll be worth it. Right. Enjoy your planning, and I'll see you in a bit. there we have it, the painting for the end of exercise 4. So what I did, I took my figure and then I added different elements, which was the little sprite, and I thought about the background. I didn't do like a realistic background, but I did really pay attention to the composition of the background. My source materials, I did 3 different source materials. I did a painting, I did the photograph, and the background is the Harlequin idea that I've been working in my work for a few years. And I wanted to put all those things together to put into one piece, and I've called it Away with the Fairies. These are all 4 pieces now to do with the figure. That's the end of using language about the figure. You've done your noun, the figure. We've added adjectives, we've done verbs, sentences, we've done a whole paragraph, which is the final painting in this section. The next exercise, exercise 5, we're going to work on to objects. So the subject, the noun, is now going to be an object. That's the next exercise. So thanks very much. Enjoy working, and I'll see you soon. Bye.